Hello, everybody. Welcome to Britton's Hangout Hour episode. Again, I've just given up on counting. And today I am here with Matthew, or Beard of Darkness. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. I'm glad we got through those technical difficulties and we're here, man. But it
Yeah,
it always seems
it's been a journey to get to this point because you were like, oh, you got like sick, and then some other crap that happened, and then finally
it's
we're here.
it's a beautiful thing because it gives us, if you think about it, it gives us a little more to talk about because I think we planned it two other times, and the first time I think my kid got sick. I don't remember if it was me or my kid
Somebody got
because he
sick.
ended up.
I don't remember who, but I remember you mentioning someone got sick. So, and that's
Exactly.
kind
But
of
hey, we're here now, man, and it's exciting. I'm glad that you're allowing me to spend some time with you on your channel because I've been watching you and I've been watching your guests, and they're highly esteemed guests because, well, I think so personally because I watch them.
yeah. There's
So
some
it's a little biased.
there was some I was surprised said yes, like Philip Chase.
Oh.
I was surprised he said yes, for instance, or I
Well,
don't know.
don't be surprised. You are very good at what you do, man.
Like he was just kind of like, oh yeah, I'll come on, and then he came on and we had a conversation. It was great. I'm like, we should do it
That's
again
awesome.
sometime. I know you talked to Casey Sutton. Isn't that his name?
That's his name.
Now
Yeah, he's when I first started my channel, he was probably the first guy that I reached out to, and for no rhyme or reason, just maybe like a striking cover. You see those covers. He's got like a necromancer, and he's got like fire in his hands. And I said, man, I'm gonna reach out to this guy. I'm probably not gonna hear back. Of course, that's what I thought about the writing community, and I feel bad about that. But it's such a refreshing thing that you find such a beautiful community, and it really is, and I'm sure you know this. But he, came to my house, dude. I live
in
in
your
Chillicothe,
house.
Ohio. Yes, dude, I'll
That's
have to send you
awesome.
pictures. So he lives about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour away from me. And just out of the blues, like, dude, I live in Athens, an hour away. I'm not gonna send you my book. I'm gonna stop by. And we got pictures, he signed it for
Athens,
me. So
Georgia.
no, 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 Ohio.
Oh, Ohio. God.
Yeah, Ohio.
Alright, yeah, I pronounce it Ohio. You like any of
uh,
those? Are you a sports guy? Do you like any of the
oh,
sports team over there?
so
Like the
yeah, and
Bengals?
no sports team in Ohio am I a fan of. So it's funny, our
Oh,
rival, the Ohio State Buckeyes rival Michigan. My mom and dad grew up in the heart of Michigan,
oh,
so I'm
okay.
a
So,
die-hard Michigan fan.
so you like the Lions?
The Lions, the Tigers, the Wolverines, man, we're coming at you. We've got the ferocious animals.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, it looks like Detroit's finally getting their act together. So it's all.
Man, how long have we been saying that though?
Oh man,
You know,
I don't know.
a while.
I mean, I'm a
Since
Dallas fan, so you take that what you will, man.
you've had your ups and downs just like everybody else, right? See, now me, I like NFL, but I'm a college fan because
Same here. Yeah,
these guys they're finally getting a little bit of payment. I'm not a big as a dad, I've kind of fallen a little behind on the exact laws and stuff behind endorsements with the college. I know that they do get some finally, and they deserve it. If they're if they're making money for a company, they deserve a little bit of a cut. But for the most part, if you're in a college setting, you're playing because of the passion you have for the sport, and that's what I love about college.
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. It's one of my things. I like college as well. OU. That's who I go for.
Yeah,
Um,
Oklahoma. Yeah, see, OU here is Ohio University.
yeah. No, Oklahoma here, but yeah, I thought.
You're some Okie dude.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you do have a very nice beard. I must say.
Oh,
It's
I got so lucky because I was sitting playing my PlayStation with my son, and it asked me what username you want to come up with, and I had two that I had. I said Big Dark Beard or the Beard of Darkness. And I said, dude, just kind of world came together at that moment. And I looked it up on YouTube, and there's similar names, but not in the booktube world. I had to take that chance, and man, my wife being a graphic designer, along with that name, I think it has a lot to do with the way that things are going now. So thank you.
Wow, you really lucked out there, man.
Honestly, I did. And because
can you grow hair on the top of your head, or do you just?
You tell me.
I mean, it looks pretty bald to me. That's all I'll say. That's all I gotta say.
Overcompensation on my face, man.
Yeah, no.
But I'm used to it. 16 years old, I couldn't. So yeah, I used to feel kind of self-conscious about it. Now it's like that's a part of me now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so.
no. I mean, my facial hair is just. It's not. Yeah, it's not up to par. I mean, you can see kind of a little bit probably. I have a little Salvador Dali mustache and little facial hair there and here.
We are all special in our own little ways, man. You do what you do and you be yourself, and that's all we can ask. That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, that's true. So you have a booktube channel called Beard of Darkness Book Reviews.
Yes, sir.
I mean, how did you start? I always like to ask this to booktube channels. Like, how did you start your booktube channel or your reading career and all that stuff?
Sure, yeah, I'll start at the beginning. At the very beginning, I've been sick for a while. No pity, please. This is part of my story. That's I have to say it. So, I spent from about 2012 until about 2021.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I came into my channel because I was really sick for a while, and through my sickness, I wasn't able to take adventures on foot, this and that. So
yeah, didn't you say you have like Crohn's disease or something like that?
Yes, so that's the reason that I was sick. I had a lot of intestinal surgeries, and I found myself laying in the hospital for a long time, and for a long time it was a dark area for me. What I mean by that is, after you have surgery 3 or 4 times, you lose intestine, and it takes a long time to recover. So instead of going on these adventures on foot, I finally picked up a book, and the book responsible is The Ordinary Monsters by J.M. Miro.
I think I've heard of this. I've seen it around.
Yeah, it's an incredible book, and it's what got me out of the funk that I was in, the dark spot. And I also was a fan of James Rollins. So
I don't think haven't you covered him on your channel? Because the name's kind of familiar, though. I don't think I've read him.
Yes, and I apologize for the babies in the background, guys. So James Rollins, J.M. Miro, and gosh, it's so hard to pick another one. But there was a few that got me out of that funk. So going back to Ordinary Monsters, I decided that I wanted to do something with literature. I didn't know what. I didn't know if I wanted to, BookTube was kind of like in the other realm. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that is I had no idea it existed. I wasn't on YouTube. I didn't watch YouTube. I kept reading. And then James Gwen came into my hands. I started with the Bloodsworn series. So we've got The Shadow of the Gods in my hands. And that was the moment. I'm of Danish descent. And it really just talked to me. And through Shadows of the Gods, man, I made the decision to start a review channel. And I just kind of started with in a little room over here, and it looked just like everybody's first videos, and I wasn't happy with it. So I built I'm sitting in front of it now, so I can't really show you, but if you watch my videos, you can see it. I built a bookshelf, and I've kind of just taken off from there. So it's a part of me forever. I don't find myself ever being away from books anymore. Like, I've got a stack here, and like if I go to town, I'm holding 2 or 3 books. Like if I'm at the doctor's office, even though damn well I'm not going to read them, like I probably ain't gonna have some time. So yeah, that's how I started my channel, just through inspiration through my dark times.
Ah, that's cool, man. Yeah, I mean, I had done some booktube for a little bit, and then I kind of gave up because I don't really like watching myself, you know, and I'm not really great at articulating myself when I do reviews. Though I've gotten better. I think bullet points are really helpful.
Yeah.
Have proven helpful anyway. But then,
So every time I watch, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you,
oh,
man.
sorry, no, you're good.
I see your drum set behind you,
Yeah.
and I'm also a drummer.
Oh,
So
yeah. Yeah.
I knew instantly we'd get along, man. So
Yeah, no, yeah, I haven't played them in a while, so don't anyone get mad at me. But there's some people who are like, "Oh, cool, you play drums?" I'm like, not very well, but I can.
yeah, that's awesome. And it's something to kind of also give you a little bit of a creative output, you know?
Yeah, no, I've always liked music, and I don't know if it's just I don't have the patience for it, or if it's just like I don't know what it is, but I for some reason have been always kind of struggled when it comes to like learning an instrument. But then I learned, you know, drums, and you can just kind of, you know, I mean there is a you know an art to it, and you know I learned some stuff, but you know wasn't that difficult.
Well, I think it has more to do with your ear. Most of the things that I've learned are because of my ear. So if I listen to a song, I 100%, 100%, I can play it 100% through if I hear it one or two times.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I learned personally. I played percussion in school for a little bit. I was a football player though, so I had to quit that. So sheet music, you put that in front of me, and I'm not going to know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I was in choir for a few years when I was in high school. I had done it sporadically throughout my education career, and they would always give out sheet music. Well, I'm like, I can't read any of this, so I kind of just winged it for about 2.5 years. I don't know if any of my teachers or anybody noticed, but luckily I have this weird thing where I could just mimic everybody, so it worked out.
Yeah, no, that's great.
I listen more like by ear. It's a strange thing how it works.
It is because, you know, people who can't listen to a song by ear and come up with what they hear, it's a totally different language. So I understand what you're saying 100%.
Yeah, I know. I wouldn't, but you know, I wasn't about to say that because the people in my choir class took that stuff really seriously. So I wasn't
Oh
about,
yeah, dude, music theory and stuff. Absolutely. I had those buddies. It's like life's fun, man. Like let's not take everything so serious. Let's just have fun with music.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was one of the guys who liked to kind of not really goof off, but I tried to have fun with it, and like, cause you know, I wasn't gonna do like music as a career or anything, but there were some people who were really serious about it. You know, wanted to like go to, you know, I say Juilliard because it's the only like music school I can think of at the moment, but you know, something like that.
I know what you mean.
One of them I knew went up to California, so hope she's doing.
Hey, anytime anybody goes to go over to California, they gotta be serious, right?
Yeah, I mean, but you know, me,
That's a ballsy thing.
It's weird because with choir, like, never a dull day, but at the same time, I don't miss it.
No, I get what you're saying for sure. Like, you said high school, right?
High school, yeah.
Yeah. So, how long's it been since you graduated? I'm gonna ask the question.
I graduated in 2019, so about 4 years
Oh
ago.
my God, dude! I didn't know I was that much older than you.
Yeah, I was about to say 4 years ago. I'm 22 now.
Well, that's great, man. I'm glad you write, right?
Yeah,
you write?
I do. I
Good.
completed a draft of a book I worked on, and now I am editing it, or I'm in the midst of it, because I started class. So now I have to kind of. Now, luckily, I'm on sort of the downslope this week, so yeah, now we're here, so we're good to go.
So, yeah. So I graduated. I have to say it now. I graduated 10 years before you. Oh man.
Oh my gosh.
I have to reconsider a couple things.
No,
No, yeah, I graduated '09. But obviously I can make fun of my wife though. She graduated in '05, so I'm like, I have somebody I can trump.
Oh wow, That's interesting.
Right.
Your wife's older
So
than you?
she is.
That's cool. I
Yep.
guess. I don't know.
Yeah, we like to joke about it. At least I like to joke about it because she's the older one. I don't know if she likes to joke about it. Probably not.
Yeah, no. Um, but yeah, no, didn't you say you have 3 kids or 2?
Nope, I've got three. I've got a boy, four-year
Mm.
old Jackson. I got a 2-year-old Benjamin. Got a 1-year-old Matthew Jr. And actually today I got to see her in 3D for the first time. Amelia Rose. She'll be here in October, so I'll have
Oh,
four come October.
congratulations.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
I know you said you were expecting. I didn't know if that was 3 or 4. Oh man.
We've got a lot of them. We've got a whole band of people we take to Walmart. It's like you gotta take some planning.
Yeah, no, I'm sure. I'm sure.
It's
Uh,
beautiful. It is. So all the viewers that got to see a little bit of a freak out, my son fell. So life happens even during podcasts, guys.
yeah, yeah, no, I'm, I'm still just, yeah. My parents had me a little later in life, so my parents are, well, they're in their 50s, so it's I guess not that old, but
My parents are in their 50s.
oh well. Okay.
Yeah, we relate, man. So
Yeah.
what are you reading it right now? Like, what's your current read? If you're like me, there's like
Oh,
3 or 4 or 5 of them.
well, I mean, I'm sticking with 2 right now. I'll admit I've been kind of in like a weird, like, I don't want to say slump, but it's been sluggish these past couple months. But books I'm reading right now, I'm reading Suttree from
No, you're good.
oh no, I'm reading Suttree from Cormac McCarthy, one of my favorite authors. Sadly passed away this year. I was very sad about that.
Yes. He did
Um,
pass away, and at first I had to look up what he did, but once I did, I was very familiar with it. So
yeah.
I was guilty of that.
And Inherent Vice from Thomas Pynchon. I picked this for a like read along with one of my friends, and it's good. It's enjoyable. But yeah, that's what I'm reading right now, and I'm gonna try and finish one of these by the end of the month. Probably Inherent Vice, because Suttree is dense. Oh my gosh.
Oh no, I definitely get it. So my biggest struggle with being a book reviewer has been time management because, as I'm sure you know, there's lots of people who want their books reviewed, and I'm so honored that I get asked to do it and to pay homage and to pay forward that honor. I do the reviews and take time to read the books, but it takes a lot of time management, and
Yeah.
I try to do no more than 3 at once. Um, the 3 I'm kind of doing like 3 or 4 right now. The main one I'm reading, the main 2, um, indie authors. We've got James Lloyd Dulin. I hope I'm saying that right. No Heart for a Thief, and we've got John Palladino
Oh.
with Grimdark book here. Um, Trials of Ashmount. It's his inspiration is highly Joe Abercrombie, and you can tell that because he's got great characters. It's pretty
Yeah,
grim.
I
There's some things that make you like speak out when you don't really mean to.
Yeah, I finally finished the First Law trilogy this year, and I also read Best Served Cold earlier this summer, which was pretty good.
I haven't made it there yet.
Oh, I won't spoil then, but if you like the First Law, you'll like Best Served Cold fine.
Yeah, I'm halfway through Before They're Hanged, so I'm not
Oh,
super
okay.
far yet. I did want to make sure that I got this one, and this is another current read. Death's Disciple by Emma L. Adams.
Oh, that's interesting.
I'm actually having her on, when is it? It's either Friday or Saturday, I can't remember now, but she's going to be on my channel for an interview. She's really young. She's got a lot of good books out right now. So I wanted to make sure to let everybody know that that's one of my current reads too. Check her out, all those guys. So
Yeah, I mean, I've seen you've done some interviews. You did one with Casey, and that was funny because he was like, because I also interviewed him for this show.
oh, great!
About a month ago, actually. Now, my God, it's gone by.
It does.
But he was like, I'm gonna do one with Matthew first. So
Oh,
you wanna wait? I'm like, that's fine. I have a bunch of other ones, so you're good to go. Yeah, this summer was
uh,
great for like podcasting and stuff. I didn't really have much to do, so I kept myself busy. It was great.
hmm. Well, like I said, I want to reiterate it again. I enjoy you've got, there's certain people who do well at podcasts and interviews, and there's people who are like, that, and you're not that. So, you do quality stuff. I
Oh,
want to
thank
let you
you.
know.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, I love watching it.
yeah,
The only
oh,
one I think I haven't seen is Philip Chase. I didn't know he was on, and I feel bad
oh,
about that because I've been
no,
watching
it's
your
all right.
stuff. I didn't know he
Yeah,
was on.
the last one I put up, which was yesterday. I usually put
Fury
them up
Books,
on.
right?
Yeah, I put them up on Monday, but Mondays I started school this week, or I started class again this week, and I got really discombobulated, so I completely forgot to put it up on Monday. So I put it up yesterday. So I'm probably gonna have to set an alarm.
Don't forget to take
Because
out
Mondays
the
are
trash.
usually my busiest days at school. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
So that's great, man. So it's funny that I'm asking this during, but do you do these live or do you do them record and then kind of put them out?
I record them and then I put them out. So
Okay.
I have a couple on the backlog.
No, that's really smart, man, because listen, I've had a lot of people say, "Will you record them rather than do them live?" Now, me, for my sake, I love what you do with this because that means you've got a couple to release.
Yeah.
And if, something happens during, like maybe that, you have time to kind of edit it out. But anyway, I understand that if you do things live, you have the chance, you take the chance of maybe not doing exactly what you came there to do. What I mean by that is, say on a Monday I get sick, like, or my kid got sick the one time, and you had to cancel, I had to cancel. You
Or
still
whatever
got a couple
happened.
more,
I don't even remember
whatever.
now.
But you've got a couple on the back burner to put in the place of that.
Yeah. It's probably not going to be as many during school time because I'm going to be busy with stuff, but
So what's
probably
your major?
uh, professional media, or in other words, journalism, because
Okay, no, that's
or
awesome, dude. If I
journalism
could go back, that's what I
broadcasting.
do.
That probably makes sense because I'm doing this right now. So
Hey, and it's a passion, right?
yeah, no,
Something you're
I mean,
passionate
I've
about.
always, I pursue journalism because I've always enjoyed writing, but in like part, I ended up finding an interest in broadcast, in like talking with people. So that's kind of why I started this. Also, I had a couple friends who did a similar show of this nature, and I'm like, I want to do that, so I just did it. You know?
I was highly influenced by a couple different booktubers. Probably the most influential was Matt's Fantasy Book Reviews. I really enjoy his stuff,
Oh,
man. He does
actually,
great.
I had him on actually
Did you?
a few months ago. Yeah,
That's incredible. That's awesome,
that was
man. He
it was
he
it
is
was
influential.
it was a bit it was kind of tough because he lives in California, so it's like
Oh,
he's like
okay.
2 hours behind me, and he's like, you want to do it during like my lunch, or I think he said something like do it during my lunch hour, and I was like, okay, why not? That's One of my friends later was like, why was his camera off? I'm like, I think he was at his job. And he's like,
Right.
well, why was he doing that? And I was just like, I don't know. That was the only time he said he could talk to me. So
Hey, you take it when you can get it, man.
exactly. It was only an
So
hour, but it was a great conversation though. It was,
that's awesome, man. So we'll pick when you go to edit. You can see my hands here, and we're gonna pick up now.
all right. So yeah, he said he has to. Well, anyway,
Out of
basically,
your
or what'd you say?
Sorry, I was just gonna say. So, are you reading more published authors right now, or are you reading more indie authors?
Oh, I read more like published. It's weird because like I would really like to read more like indie authors. It's just like I've said, hey, what are some good places to start? And then there's gonna be a couple people who like private message me about it. Which, hey, that's great. I'm flattered, but at the same time, I'm just like, I'm just like, really? Me? You want to hear my silly old opinion? You know?
Oh, isn't it flattering though? It's
It is,
something
but it's kind
that.
of, but it's like at the same time, I'm like, really? You want to hear it from me? You know?
Well, no, they have the same opinion. I think, we're all very self-critical, and I think you're being self-critical right now. And that's to be expected. I am too, but I just honestly want to let you know you've got great stuff, and I would want your opinion. I would send my art to you.
Oh well,
So,
thank you.
yeah, dude.
I did talk with which is actually next week. I'm gonna be putting up Joe Byrne. You know him?
Yeah.
Yeah, he gave me his book. So there you go.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. And I actually did an interview with him myself. And it's a great book. Have you read it yet?
I have not, but Joe's a great dude. So I'm definitely
He's
going to
so
read.
funny.
Yeah, he's a great guy, and we both enjoy comics. So like the whole conversation we had was just talking about comics. It was great.
Now, see, I'm new in the comics, and one of our conversations went to Berserk
Oh
because that's
yeah.
one of the ones I want to read. I haven't read them yet. I've never been into comics, and that's going to be a step for me. So he, of course, had it right behind him during the interview, and we just started talking about it and how it's influenced him a little bit. But the book's really good. It's you read some indie authors and you kind of understand that the books need a little bit of work, and then you read some that are like, whoever doesn't publish this guy is really missing out. JCM Byrne is one of those guys who's got good writing. He's funny. It's captivating, it's immersive, and it's funny. I just want to reiterate that he's a funny guy.
Yeah, no, he's a great dude. Yeah, no, he's a great guy. I enjoyed our conversation. I'm like, that's another one. I'm like, we should do this again because I'm not against having guests come on again. It's just I try to spread them out.
Yeah, no, I get that. I'm gonna have Casey on again. Now that I've read his book, because when I interviewed him, my time management was even worse. I told him I'd be done with his book. When I interviewed him, I wasn't. But
Yeah,
now that I am out,
and I listened to like part of you guys' conversation, and I was like, did something happen? Like, were you like sick or something? Because his voice sounded really scratchy, and he was all like, "Oh no, it was just the mic had a I don't know what it was."
it was, it was.
It was fine on when I talked to him.
So unfortunately for him, and fortunately for me, I had a great guest, but he had somebody who hadn't done an interview yet. I use StreamYard because it's so easy. It's live though, but you can do recorded. But it translates straight over to YouTube. So I wasn't aware of that yet at that moment. So I was doing OBS, not being familiar with it, messing it up, being 15 minutes late. Like, it was all messed up.
Oh my gosh. It sounded like it was doomed from the start.
It was, we got it done. It's there. But we have a starting place. If you want to see where I started with the interviews, go watch that, and then kind of update yourself with my most current.
Yeah, I mean, with my thing that I've written, I'm probably gonna go the self-published route because, like, my thing I'm doing is hello, little person.
That's Jackson.
Hello, Jackson. How are you?
He can't hear you. He said, "How are you?" Yeah. He said, "Hey, hello. How are you?"
I'm doing.
Is he good? He's good.
All right.
All right, guys. I'm almost done. Okay. I'm almost done. Okay, guys.
But yeah, no. What was I saying? Oh,
we were talking about JCM Byrne or Casey.
Oh yeah, no, he's a cool dude. I enjoyed our conversation. We talked a lot about video games. It was cool. Yeah.
So what do you play? You play Elden Ring?
I've never been into like the Souls games because it's just they're so hard.
Dude, it's hard.
And also I'm not like it's sort of like it's like if you're a gamer who likes to grind, like you'll like Elden Ring, but I like like the story and the atmosphere and whatever. So it's not really something I worry about. So yeah, that usually I struggle with those because it's
So
just
me and my 4-year-old have 127 hours on Elden Ring, and dude, for a 4-year-old, he kind of balls, man. He does pretty good. Like it's pretty impressive because he's seen old dad throw the controller more than one time.
he watched you play and he's like, I can do better, and then just
So yeah, as soon as he started speaking, I think one of his first words was Elden Wing.
gotta love
So we
that.
have fun with it. Yeah, yeah. So I can't be mad. I gotta be proud about that. So
And I get that. It's definitely it's like like yeah, it's doing good.
exactly, I think I'm doing okay. You know.
You've also let's. But yeah, I'm probably gonna. Oh, that's what I was saying. I'm probably gonna go self-published when I eventually publish what I've been working on for the past. Oh Lord, 6 months now.
Okay,
Um,
well that's impressive, and I hope I'm one of the ones that get to read it, man. As soon as it gets done, I'd
because
love to review it.
because it's a for one, it's very niche. It's about a guy going into a for one, it's not your kind of typical big epic, fantasy chunker. Nothing wrong with those, but I mean, how many like thin boys do you see at 'cause
I'm a fan of both, so
yeah, I know. I
yeah, I
mean, how many
definitely like
like in mainstream publishing, like how many like thin fantasy novels do you see? Probably
not
not very
many,
many.
not many at
So,
all.
so there you go on that one. And
But don't let that discourage you in the same way. Like you do what you do if you're happy with it and something you're
no, I
passionate
mean I'm
about.
happy with it. It's just like I don't know if mainstream publishing is going to take it if I tried to shove it around. So
Well,
yeah, I might.
yeah,
I could be surprised, but
you could be. That's what I'm saying.
I'm leaning on self-publishing. That was my point I was trying to make at the moment.
Gotcha. Yeah, but I think, like I said, inspiration and where your heart lies is super important. So I support your decision either way, man. As somebody I hope to keep, kind of watching your interviews, and somebody I'll call a friend now. I support either way. I'll read it either way.
Yeah, no, it's good stuff. I enjoy but yeah, no, I do want to check out more indie authors. It's just I don't know where to start. I guess is kind of my
So
thing.
you're on Twitter, which is a great place to start. In fact, if I remember after this, I will, which I will. I'll send you a bunch of different really good debut indie authors that I would recommend you. That's kind of my niche right now, and for
All
the
right,
future, I
well,
really think so is indie.
after we get off here, you can DM me those. That's
Yeah.
feel free. All right, we're back.
All right.
We're back. It took a few days, but we're back here. I won't make too
I
much of
love
a
it.
big deal of it. How you doing, man?
So doing absolutely great, dude. I love the weekends because I get time to spend a little more time with my kids. Maybe not during the day so much because like they're usually like hanging off of us, or hey, can I get my so their grandfather, my wife's grandfather who raised her, what he done is he actually created his own little apartment next
Oh,
door. So yeah, they get to go back and forth, and they bug us all day to go back and forth. So they're busy, and then we kind of watch. Right now, we're watching the Rings of Power
oh
at
boy,
nighttime.
interesting.
What do you think of that?
Oh, I only watched like one or two episodes, and then I couldn't do it anymore.
Man, dude, I heard that same thing, and I'm like, it prevented me from watching it. And I told my wife, I
I
was
mean,
like,
if
I
you
don't
like it,
know.
that's great. I'm glad, but
I
I
do.
couldn't
I
get
love
into
it.
it. I couldn't get into it.
Why? What's the reason? Is there a reason behind it? Was it the talk prior to you? Were you influenced, or was it the actual content?
No, it was no, I actually sat and watched. Like there's some people who just don't like stuff, and that's whatever. Nah, I don't really try to listen to those people, but I'm like, all right, I'll give this a shot because I like
Hmm.
figuring things out for myself.
Well, that's
Um,
good. You're a free thinker.
yes. Um, I it just just wasn't for me. There was a bunch of like Like for one, there's a bunch of stuff going on and it's not really coming together. I know probably at the end of the season it'll make more sense, but it's just really slow and
I think that your answer, as far as what you said, that it's just not for you. I think that that says a lot more about you than anybody can understand. Or if I were to say that about me, like for instance, if I was to say I'm not into Good Omens, and it's just not for me.
I haven't
Um,
watched or read Good Omens, so
Me neither.
I can't comment on it.
I'm not a big fan of Neil Gaiman, not yet. I believe him and what was it, Terry Pratchett wrote that?
Yeah, I was about to
Cool,
say
man.
I really enjoy Neil Gaiman,
Well, I'm glad to hear that because that's another. I
but
respect you and your show and your opinion, so maybe that'll
well,
help
I
me.
haven't seen Good Omens or anything like that, so I don't have an opinion one way or the other. But
Well, I mean, on his writing. I have a book of his. Oh, what is it? Graveyard, something graveyard. It's about a boy who grows up
oh,
in
the
a graveyard.
Graveyard Book, yeah. I know what you're talking
Okay,
about.
so I have that for sale. It's because I bought it. I read the blurb and then I have it on my Pango books to sell. And honestly, I've been kind of hesitant to get rid of it just because I want somebody to talk me into reading it.
I mean, I haven't read it yet, so I don't know. I've heard it's a good one.
It's got illustrations throughout the whole book, and that's different.
Yeah, I know. I think Dave McKean is the one who does the illustrations because
Didn't know
they
that.
like to work together. Um, but yeah, no, but yeah, I know Rings of Power. It just wasn't. It didn't scratch that same itch that the movies did, or the
Yeah,
yeah, or
yeah,
even the
dude.
books for that matter. Even though like the Rings of Power show does have more of that kind of how do you describe it without pissing a lot of people off?
Oh, who cares? Piss them off, dude.
Um, it has more of Tolkien's kind of. You see, Tolkien likes to wander around a lot in his books. He really loves like the landscapes that he talks about. So there's and I mean, if I remember right, Rings of Power is based on like the Silmarillion, which is like which is just a bunch of stuff he never got around to finishing. And
Okay, so that's what I ask you. Do you know what the influence behind the Ring of Power? I wasn't sure, so now I
if I
know.
remember right, it is the Silmarillion, which is I have never read it, but I know of it. It's like basically a bunch of the stuff that Tolkien compiled together for Middle Earth. He just never got around to finishing it because I don't know.
Yeah, so yeah, that's kind of what I understand about it. But I think something because tried to read The Hobbit to my kid the other night, and he's still just a little too young. Um,
Yeah, maybe wait
but
till
it's
he's
like
like I don't know. I won't say I'm
eight.
not a parent, but
No. Well, from
maybe
what
don't
I
read it to a
understand,
2-year-old though. That's probably not a great. That's probably not a great
yeah,
idea.
he's almost five.
Oh, he's
So
almost 5. Okay. Maybe
yeah.
wait till he's
So
like 8 or something. I don't know.
that was my thoughts. He was
But
like, "No, Daddy, please," and I started reading. He's just like, you can see in his face. He's like, "Those words are big," you know. So,
yeah, his words are big. That's true.
and I mean, try to tell a 5-year-old how to say Silmarillion.
Oh
But
gosh, I
one of the one of the things that has really got me interested in that book particularly was Andy Serkis's the audio book. He is brilliant.
oh yeah, he did the audiobooks for the Tolkien stuff. I remember hearing about that.
Yeah,
He's
and
he's great. I enjoy Andy Serkis a lot. He's a great actor, I think, and I do enjoy him a lot in Lord of the Rings as well as other stuff. He was.
Man of the Apes.
Did you? I was about to say, did you see those movies? He was
I did,
great in that. The mocap in
but
that is so good.
but I didn't know it was him, which is such a cool little surprise because I subscribed to something. I think it's on Instagram, and it's like the circus verse or like everything he's been a part of, and it's dude, he's just such an impressive human. Like I would absolutely love to sit down with him and just pick his brain, you know?
Yeah, yeah. He's Yeah, he seems like an interesting guy.
He does.
But
So what
I
have you
did
been
listen.
into, man? As far as like schooling and stuff, I'm interested in knowing what's going on with that, man. That's really cool that you're doing that. It inspires me to follow my stuff. So what's up with that?
Well, I mean, I just started new classes this week. I'm taking a Spanish class because I didn't get around to doing that in high school. Now we're just like we've put it off long enough, and my parents and I are like,
Right.
all right, let's just do it.
That's awesome. So
Um,
you've got your parents behind you. They're influencing you to continue with your love and your passion, dude. That's super important because not everybody has that, dude.
yeah, I've been very fortunate in my life to have the people that I have, and I do appreciate them.
Yeah, that's great, dude. I'm happy for you.
But
What is it? Is it what college is it?
well, it's the University of Central Oklahoma. No,
Okay.
I don't go to OU because it's a lot of money, and also I don't want to go that far from my family. So
Well, no, and not only that, I respect it because and there's nothing like a university. I've been to a couple myself. It just didn't pan out for me personally, but it's a
college isn't
big
for
taking.
everybody. I've learned, you know. I mean, it's.
It is. It's for a special person, that's for
I mean,
sure.
you know, you have you. It's not like when you go to public school you have to go there. It's like you're paying to do that experience again. And I know there's a lot of people who probably after high school they're like, nope,
Right. Yeah,
not
and
again.
a lot of my buddies, like I grew up in a small Ohio town,
Hmm.
and it's basically like if you live, it's called Wilmington, Ohio. If it's pretty much probably looks like what your place looks like, flat cornfields, soybeans. Like if you weren't a farmer there, you weren't really like there was no reason for you to really live there.
Yeah, no, it's.
So
I mean, I live more in the city, but like if you go like deeper in Oklahoma, yeah, it's definitely that. Like a lot of plains, bunch of hay rolls.
yeah, right. And so a lot of my buddies did like the trade schools, which I equally think is just as important.
Hmm.
So, college, trade schools, I think just be proud of what you're doing, man, and do what you
Oh
want to
yeah,
do.
no, I'm not saying it isn't important and that it serves a function for a lot of people. It's just,
Right.
yeah, I get that it's not for everyone, but I managed to get a good grasp of it. There's times I'm like, ah, man, why am
Right.
I doing this? But
All right,
I'm
one sec.
I'm
So
very
my bad.
task oriented, so
I can tell, man. So that's one thing that I sense from your channel is you're good at kind of just doing your own thing, and what you do, you're good at it. Like we talked a little bit before starting this, like if you write things down or take notes and you don't, and I respect that. Like you kind of just take
no,
it as it
yeah, my
comes, and
organizational skills still need some improvement, but yeah, no, I like to.
well, no, it's that's not what I mean. I mean
But
that
no,
you're
I enjoy
intelligent.
talking with people and just like picking their brains and seeing where it goes.
So so basically, you like the human condition, and basically if you can get a better sense of that with each person you talk to, that makes you happier. That's what you enjoy.
Yes, yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. You say that, yeah.
Cool, man.
Oh man, it. I mean, I enjoy having discussions on my channel because same thing, mostly about books, but there's probably other things I'll cover in the future.
Hey, and
Because
even
I've
just the
really tapped on
conversation,
the booktube vein because I'm like, I like books and it's something I want to do, and so I just did it.
that's great, man. I respect that.
I mean, I did like I mentioned before when we were talking. I had done it before, but I I didn't like how it sounded, and I was just like, whatever, I'll just do something else. And then after a while, I'm like, you know what, I like doing it, and I have no real reason not to do it, so I just did it.
Well, cool. And based on your major, it's not like this isn't practice. It's absolutely. I think that any kind of media practice that you, whether it's books, film, music, audio, whatever that you choose your palette to creatively write on, depending on what you're interested in. I think that that's all only going to help you. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, obviously, sure. It's one of Though, admittedly, it does cause me to sometimes stumble over my words because sometimes
We
I'm
all
like,
do
oh
that.
no, what am I going to talk about next? Um,
Well, one of the things that I guess because I write a couple things down before I come on
I know
because my
you had
brain
a
is
I know you had
slow.
a podcast yesterday, or not really or well, a conversation with a
Oh
author,
yeah, yeah.
Emma.
So Emma L. Adams, it was really good, dude. She's an up and coming indie author, and I think she's got a really bright future.
Mm-hmm.
She's more than like ecstatic and excited and inspired by what she's doing, and I encourage anybody to I think it's emmaladams.com, and the amount of work that she's put out already, and I don't know her exact age, but I think she's in her younger 20s.
Oh wow.
It's impressive. Yeah. So she's got books, she's got the audio books for some of them. She's got I think 4 or 5 series. It's kind of like murder or not murder, I'm sorry, mystery
Oh,
fantasy, YA.
murder.
Yeah, I didn't mean to say murder. And then she's got the darker side that she writes on. Um,
Hmm.
the epic, dark epic fantasy, which is Death's Disciple. That's the book that is most recently she's published. So
Didn't you have
that's
that
the one
book?
I'm. Yeah, yeah. So I'm reading it right now. Let me see where I put it. Lord, oh, here it is. Yeah, it's a
Oh,
really beautiful cover.
yeah, that is a very. I'll admit I am a bit of a cover snob, so I do like that
Oh,
cover a lot.
I mean, a cover can absolutely make and absolutely break a book for sure.
Yeah, I'm kind of I'm admittedly a bit of a snob for like cover design, so for
So
whatever
who's
reason.
your favorite cover? Like of all time, if you had to pick one, can you?
Oh God, I can't think of one at the moment, but I do enjoy. I don't know if you read there any of Orbit stuff, but I really like Richard Anderson's covers a lot. I think
Okay, I'll
he's
have to look up Richard Anderson in
here. Let me
particular. I'm sure I've
let
got
me actually
something.
let me actually pick up one of his
I would
covers.
love that.
Uh, it's
Oh
Into the
yeah.
Wild. I don't know if you've. I'm sure you've heard of it, but I don't know if you've
Yes.
seen that cover. Yeah, no, it's great.
It is great. What's the sequel to that?
Bloody Rose, I think.
Bloody Rose. That's right. I've been meaning to pick that one up, and he's indie. No, he's uh yeah, I hear great things about that book. Like the kind of like
Oh, hmm
the band. It's like the band of guys.
yeah, 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 I've heard it be compared to a metal band. So I mean,
Metal epic fantasy. Where can you go wrong, right?
yeah, no, right. But yeah, I saw you talk to Emma Adams yesterday. I watched a little bit of that, and then I watched your indie author spotlight.
Yeah, I was really proud of that one, man.
That one guy, Michael Mikkel, isn't that is it Mikkel?
Michael Michelle. It's
Michelle?
Michelle. Michael Michelle. Yeah.
I just think that's kind of funny. That's his name, you know. I don't. It's just, I wonder if his parents, they were just like, hey, you know what would be funny? We should name him
Oh
Michael.
gosh. Uh, yeah. I mean, I thought it was Michael. Um, I had to actually ask him how to pronounce it and everything. But yep, he writes great books, man. I talk to him often. He sent me War Song, and once I'm done with that, it's like his prequel to The Price of Power,
Hmm.
and very impressive writing. His prose is very gritty, character based. He absolutely nails it when he says that George R. R. Martin, Joe Abercrombie, really the punchy dialogue. That's him, and really respect him for sure.
Yeah, no, you gave me a couple of you gave me a couple of recommendations the other day for indie
Yeah, yeah.
authors to check
I've
out
got a bunch more if you ever run out.
because when we were talking the other day, I was mentioning that it's not that I struggle with indie fantasy. It's just like I don't know where to start. I know
I
there's a
remember you
lot of them
saying
out
that.
there, and
Yes. So just pick somebody. That's what I did because it's overwhelming. Like I think that's what you're saying.
yeah,
And It is, and there's no specific person or it's more about what you're into. Do a little research on your subgenres, and um, that's what I do. So I'm huge in epic fantasy. I like dark stuff. I like grim dark. I like
Mm.
it doesn't have to be that. Just epic fantasy, high fantasy, low magic, soft magic, hard magic systems. It doesn't really matter to
You
me.
just like
I'm just
fantasy. I get it. You don't
yeah, yeah.
discriminate.
Yes, exactly.
Um, I mean, I'm a little more particular. I like soft magic systems more, but then that's just me.
If I was gonna favor one, I would absolutely favor soft.
Mm.
John Gwynn kind of stuff.
Yeah, no, I know his sons have a YouTube channel. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, that's pretty cool.
they do. Yeah, they think they do. I think they do a pretty good job. I watch them sometimes. I think if I was to pick who I watch the most as far as booktube, definitely Matt's fantasy book reviews.
Mm.
Go Read Books by Matt Pittman.
Yeah,
Um,
he followed me on Twitter. I'm like, oh,
Matt,
hey, thanks. Yeah.
which one? Which one? Matt Reeves?
Go read books.
Yeah.
The one with I think I call it the Louisiana spelling.
Yeah, yeah. I like the little GEAUX,
Cause
little play on the words.
cause
Great dude. He's a great dude, man. I talk to him all the time, and he's in it because of the love, man. Same reason I hope people sense that I'm in it.
yeah,
Just a
I don't think
love
people
for it.
join BookTube to get on jump on trends or anything. I mean, if you want to get a bunch
I've
of
noticed.
subscribers fast, you can start a gaming channel. I used to have one.
Right. I just, I don't think I could do that. I love playing games, but like if I'm playing something, I don't think that I could be sitting there answering questions or like talking to people or really caring about anything other than what I'm playing.
Yeah, that's fair. Nah. um, but yeah, no, yeah, you followed me on Twitter. I'm like, oh, hello there. Yeah.
If
So
I was gonna like give you somebody very respectful, in love with the community and books, and just an all around good human, that's him.
who were some others that you watch more frequently than others?
Let's see. Matt's Fantasy, I said those two. Let's see. Who else do I watch? I like to watch Philip Chase.
I like Philip
I
Chase
like
too.
to watch, yeah. Um, I watch Elliot Brooks. I watch Murphy Napier. I think that's how you say her name.
I pronounce it Napier, but I don't think it really matters.
Right. But you know who I'm talking
I know who
about.
you're
I'm
talking
trying to
about.
think of
Yeah.
who else. I really respect the videos that Mike's book review makes. He has great content.
Yeah, I hope to
Um,
have him on at some point soon. I've been emailing him back and forth. We just haven't been able to set down on a time yet because
I'll absolutely watch that.
he's a very busy man. I imagine.
Oh, I'm sure.
Not
He
just
does really good. He's got great people that he brings on. He does good stuff. That's who I watched the most when I first started watching books too, was Mike's. I would say Matt's kind of taken first place for me.
yeah, no, Mike's
Matt,
good though. I've kind of mentioned this a few times, but there are sometimes I feel like Mike rambles a little bit, little
I
bit.
think, but see, you're right. But I
But he's
still
usually good at clearly expressing his opinion, so it's not just
exactly like if you're in for like the really quick, uh, kind of what I do. Like my book reviews are gonna be like 10 to 12 minutes max, dude. Like I don't need, and I don't think people are going to want to watch a 30-minute book review.
Sure.
But if
I try to
if
keep mine at least at 10 minutes. Or, I mean, if it goes a little longer, that's fine, but I try to keep it at least 10 minutes, So,
right, it's not gonna be 30 minutes though. You know what I'm
oh,
saying?
God, no. Unless it's
But
something I really. Unless it's like a discussion, then yeah. Alright, it's going to be
yeah,
a
I'm
little
still
longer.
wanting to do one of those. Um, Talk Story.
Oh,
I believe
Yeah,
that
I actually was
Talking
talking to him the
Story.
other day.
Dude,
Um,
he's a very intelligent guy. I want to do a collab with him. I can't think of I think we're going to talk about, as long as he agrees. I mentioned Joe Abercrombie, maybe having like a collab discussion video with him. I really like listening to him. He's smart. You can have an intelligent conversation with him, I'm sure. That's who I tend to go towards is people that I don't know, kind of challenge me intellectually.
Yeah, that's fair. I like that too. It's yeah, I was actually his 100th subscriber because I saw
Oh, I
Red
remember that. I did see that. Now that you say that, I do remember
Reddit.
that happening.
I joke with them about
I,
that.
I witnessed it.
Um, but because Josh from Red Fury Books is like, check this guy's channel out. Um,
That too, Red Fury. He's great, dude. I think the video that got me interested with him was his trip to Japan. Man, that's me. Me and my wife want to go there so bad. So I told her, I was like, man, this is great content. You're still talking about books. He talked about what his favorite Japanese author over there. But then you're also encapsulating kind of what I did with that indie spotlight is we share this love for books and the inspiration, and we're all human, but we're all so different. And I think that if you can capture our one love of books and literature, along with how different we are too, I think that that's probably the best that humans have to offer, in my opinion.
yeah, I mean, booktubers I watch. Oh god. I mean, I guess I really started my journey on actual booktube. I did watch a couple of channels, but really the one I was like first really interested in was Daniel Green before he doing what he's doing now. Um, it was kind of weird watching because I started watching him before he blew up, and like I remember the hunky dory Daniel, as I like to call him, and now he's like now he's
I
stratospheric
100%
Daniel.
agree. Yeah, dude, I'm we're on the exact same wavelength with Daniel. I respect his channel a bunch. I like to watch it still, but I think that his older content and his older
I've moved
personality,
on from his content. I'll put it that way.
yes, respect the hell out of him though.
Oh
Absolutely,
no, I've
he definitely paved like the road for a lot of different people to kind of side branch off of because at one point there wasn't really like a huge following of booktube, but now there is, and I think he has a lot to do with that. So mad respect. I like you said, the old
it's
Daniel I liked better.
it's just the content doesn't really interest me anymore. Like I do watch fantasy news on occasion, but I
Yeah,
just doesn't
yeah. I'm not
interest me.
really into the fantasy news part. I think that's probably the biggest part I'm not into, and like it's interesting. I think I liked. He was the first person that introduced the potential, and I think very imminent now. Joe Abercrombie movie, Best Served Cold. I heard that through his channel.
Yeah, no, I read best or well, yeah, you're reading Best Served Cold right now, right? Or
No, I'm on Before They're Hanged.
oh, you're on Before They Are Hanged. God, I was talking to somebody about Best
I
Served
wish I
Cold.
was on that one because, gosh, I'm. Well, no, I don't. I'm glad that
Well, I
his stuff's
mean,
slow.
I mean, well, oh yeah, you're at Before They Are Hanged. That's a good one.
Yeah, book
I think
two.
Last Argument of Kings is the best one out of that out of that trilogy.
Yeah, I've got it sitting there waiting for me. It's funny because he's got the U.S. editions in paperback, the trades. And then he's got the UK paperbacks, and then of course there's hardcovers. But I've got three different. So I've got Blade itself, and I've got all three books, but they're all three different sizes and versions of the paperbacks. So on my bookshelf, they don't match. I hear so many people say that that bugs them, and I didn't know it did until I guess I didn't know it until I knew it. But it bugs me.
Yeah, or yeah, you mean like when you get two different copies of like books?
Yeah,
Yeah,
one
yeah.
set, and I'll grab them.
All right, feel free. You gotta see this. I'll admit, Before They Are Hanged is I'm probably gonna get assassinated over this, so bear with me. I would say Before They Are Hanged is probably my least favorite of the original trilogy as of this time.
Yeah, so I got
Yeah,
this
that's
version,
a copy I own actually too. Yeah.
and then the much smaller before they're hanged.
Oh, okay. Okay.
This is the UK, and
Oh. Mm-hmm.
then I've got
Oh
this
my
version
gosh,
of.
you just had 3 different versions. It's crazy.
They're all yeah, they don't match at all. But hey,
It's crazy. I
what
just
can you do?
yeah. All of mine are in the style that of the first
The
book you had
first,
there.
yeah, I love that one. It's probably my favorite.
Yeah, no, I love the cover. I don't know who did that, but I really enjoy that cover art a lot.
Let's see who did it, man, because we should know this stuff. We should absolutely know this stuff. And I love on the front, like you've got a big old
Big
pompous
picture.
picture. It's like I'm here and you know me. I know you like my books.
Oh, I guess I'll pull mine out.
Lauren Panapinto.
Oh, well, thank you there, Lauren.
Yeah,
No, don't get me wrong. There's
she.
nothing wrong with the other covers. I just, yeah,
It's impressive,
those are just the ones I got.
right?
I got the other 2 off of Amazon.
So, do you read Kindles? Do you use a Kindle to read anything?
I don't own a Kindle. I'm actually thinking about getting one because I've heard like getting books on there is a lot cheaper. So I'm considering
Well,
it. But
as a reviewer, when I first started, I told my wife, I said, I will never be the dude that reads on a Kindle because there's just nothing, there's nothing better than the feel of a book or like just flipping the pages. It's just an experience in itself. Well, then I started reviewing books, and it's expensive for people to send me books. And it's so much easier to get an EPUB file. And I'd say this is the most useful thing. Um, what I love is as you're going through the books on your Kindle, highlight you a quote, type in review quote. So when you do the review, you've got all the really cool parts that you've highlighted.
yeah, that's kind of also why I want to get a Kindle because I heard you can like underline stuff and
It's a
I've
very useful tool.
yeah I'm not I don't like mark my books or anything because I don't know if you watch Black and Blue Collar Reader Dan. Have you ever watched his channel
Yes,
before?
yes.
Yeah, I was talking to him, and he was like, I got another copy of Blood Meridian because I marked up I marked up my other copy.
I totally understand that. If it's a book I love, I don't mind having a couple different versions of it, or like if it got dirty, rebuying it, and you know. So I get that. I'm a little obsessive about that myself.
Yeah, no, that's another YouTuber I've enjoyed, Dan.
I
He's also someone I've met, or not like in
oh,
person, but like I've talked to on this very show actually. Um,
great. Yeah, I forgot
Great
about him,
guy,
and I'm
but I
glad that
really
you
enjoy
brought him
his
back up.
channel. He's hilarious. He's got a lot of great stuff.
I wrote him down so that I check him out some more because I have seen his stuff, but I'm glad that I'm reminded now of how much I enjoyed it when I did see it.
Um, he got me. Him and my friend Epic Tales got me to want to read Beyond Redemption. So hopefully this next coming month I'll read that, and then I'll have them on to talk about it.
Beyond Redemption.
Yeah.
I've heard of it, but I don't know who wrote it.
I actually have it right over here. Oh, Michael R. Fletcher is who wrote it. It's
Okay,
backwards on
yes.
it's backwards on my screen. I hope you can see it fine on yours.
I was gonna say it's perfect on my screen.
Oh, okay. It's probably just I don't know what it is. I don't know what that is, but it's I don't know if that was a I don't know if that was an indie book before it got published. I don't remember.
I believe Michael R. Fletcher is an indie author, right? Or is that a published book?
Well, I mean, the one I have is published, but or I don't know if
Okay.
it's like I don't know if it's published by like a a big company.
Traditionally published
Traditionally
company.
published, yeah. Though I mean, why I was interested in it is because like the idea of how they do magic is really interesting to me, and
Oh, well, what is it a softer system you said or a harder
Um,
system?
well, I don't know if I'd call it soft, but the way that Dan and some of the other people I've met who love the book describe it is, it depends. It's based on mental illness, basically.
Oh,
So the crazier you are, and if you can convince people to believe your delusions, that gives you magical power. And I'm like, oh, that
dude, that
sounds.
sounds
I know,
incredible.
I know. I'm like, dude, that sounds really cool. I gotta read that.
Yeah, because it takes part, like, I love psychological thrillers as far as movies go, and it kind of throws it into the fantasy genre a little bit, and I can dig that.
Though I have heard it is also very grim dark, so I'm definitely prepared for it.
All right.
No, but I also another Richard Anderson cover, by the way. Forgot to mention that. Another same.
Oh, okay, Richard Anderson.
I think it was him. Yep.
I like hearing artists' name because I like to look up their stuff. I believe it's called ArtStation,
Yeah.
is the
Yeah.
website. Felix Ortiz, of course, everybody. I think everybody knows him in the fantasy world. He does great covers, man. Really
I
good covers.
yeah. It's funny. I was talking to Casey Sutton. I think this is it's actually a month ago now. Oh my, time has flown this year. It's ridiculous. Like summer went by fast. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm not sad about that because
But
I hate the heat.
no, I'm not a fan of the heat myself. We're going through a huge heat wave right now.
Oh, it
Uh,
sucks.
oh yeah, no, it's not fun. But back to my point, I was talking to Casey. I'm like, hey, I saw some of the illustrations for your book. I thought that was really cool. And he's like, oh yeah, it's this guy, and he explained who the guy was. So
Hmm.
yeah, I'll definitely check out Malgus at some point. And so
The book that Casey wrote.
yeah, or isn't
Yeah,
that what it's called, Malgus?
Malthus.
Malthus. Ah, God, he's gonna be like, you got it wrong. Malthus. Why I call it Malgus? I think Malgus is a Star Wars character.
Yeah, I'm gonna get hate for this, but dude, I can't. The first three are good, but I cannot stand the new Star Wars stuff.
Oh
This,
well, yeah. I don't think that's an unpopular opinion though.
yeah, I don't think so. But even like the first three are great. Don't get me wrong. I'm just still not a fanatic, even if it like continued
Oh,
that trend.
okay. Yeah. I mean, I guess. Well, it's kind of it's funny when I do meet people who don't like Star Wars. I'm like, but it's got like at least the original trilogy, like it's got something for everybody. Really,
It does.
it's one of those.
It's
It's one of those things. You know, I'm like, it's kind of now. If you don't like Star Wars, that's fine. But admit it does. It would throw me off a little bit because
it's really niche now.
that's true.
Every time something new comes out for Star Wars, it's like I have no clue who this person is they're talking about, and I have to read three books and watch four movies to understand it. Uh, Here's some of that art you were talking about.
Oh yeah, that one. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's Inquisitor Deza, and he's dragging Malthus the scar. It's called. It's the desert. So yeah, dude, check that book out.
Yeah, no, I definitely.
Sutton's great.
Yeah, no, I definitely will. It's yeah, we talked a little bit about Malthus in our conversation.
Good. Yeah, for a
Naturally,
debut
I
novel.
didn't want to be like. Also, I was kind of like, it's awkward when I have authors and I haven't read their books. But do you want to talk about it? And he's like, yeah, of course.
So almost all of my interviews, like if I like, okay, so interviewing is a huge part of my channel. It's something that I love to do. It's
Mm-hmm.
something that I'll always do. But if I tried to read every single book before every single author, I wouldn't have a life. Like there's
Oh
just no way
gosh, yeah.
possible. So as far as the indie authors that I interview, it's not necessarily to talk about their books as far as a discussion about them.
Mm-hmm.
It's to get their name out there, it's to get that book in other people's hands, it's to get their name out there. So, I think that that's not a bad thing, is what I'm saying.
Well, sure. I mean, I had a great conversation with Casey anyway. You know, he talked about his military career and some of stuff we like he likes video games, and we were talking about video games a bit. And just talking about some of the other fantasy books that we enjoy. So, it wasn't just like, we weren't just, I did ask him about Malthus, though, and how he, kind of came up with that. And
Yeah, it's interesting. And man, for any of the vets that are watching, if there were any, watching, thank you for your service. I
of course,
hold
yeah.
veterans very high. I respect the hell out of them.
Yeah, I know. Like I mentioned before, I watched your interview with Casey, and for some reason, is like, I guess he had some issue with his mic, because, like, it sounded like his voice was gravelly.
I remembered your comment during it, and I said, I think your comment was, I liked your rendition of your voice, and I thought it was just you complimenting his voice or something like that. Come to find out, it was a problem, and it was probably my fault, to be honest with you, because I mean, let's face it, it was my very, very, very first interview ever was his, and I tried to do it's the OBS,
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
and just didn't understand it and how to make scenes and how to mirror the screens and stuff. So we were late. I didn't know what we were doing. It was probably my fault.
It was doomed from the start.
Dude, yeah, I told him that beforehand. I said, this might go well, but it probably won't. But it went. I think it went well.
Yeah.
The conversation went well. The technological issues have improved since. So we had to have a basis in which to improve. That was it.
Fair enough. I mean, we all start somewhere. I get it.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, I mean, when I started out, I would record my screen, and then I would just call them on my phone and use the speaker. So, before I did this.
So yeah, dude, the easiest way. Do you only put your stuff on YouTube?
At the moment, yes, I do.
So
I know
StreamYard?
I know there's other things I could use, but I don't know how to use it. And also,
So
you have to pay for some of those. I'm like, I don't want to do that.
So StreamYard's free, and you can stream to multiple different places at once as you're streaming. You can customize the background, and dude, it's just, in my opinion, that's what I would every time recommend.
Yeah, I've heard StreamYard. I definitely do. I would like to use that at some point, but yeah, we'll see. I have used StreamYard before when I've been interviewed, or I've talked with other people on their stuff. I've used StreamYard.
Yeah.
I think back in the day, I streamed a little bit on there, but I don't use it very much. I don't have anything against it. It is very nice.
Yeah, so tonight, I'm interviewing Brian Wilson.
Oh yeah.
He is a self-pub author, and gosh, I was unprepared. I thought I had all these books sitting here for me. Where did I put her?
That's always
there it is. And we're back. All right.
I think I've seen that somewhere.
Yeah, it's a chunker.
Brian Wilson. It's Brian. My bad.
Yep. Brian Wilson. Yep.
Oh yeah.
But so he markets it as a sci-fi and fantasy. Of course they're the same thing. But what I'm trying to say is, it's not a hardcore sci-fi and it's not a hardcore fantasy. He takes the beginning and does the sci-fi aspect as far as planets and stuff.
Soft sci-fi. Yeah.
And then the second half, from what I understand, has the technical world building of something you'd find in like a epic fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be fun tonight at 8. But when this is released, it will already have been recorded. So go check it out.
Yeah. No, it's Oh man, I was checking some of your videos you've had on your channel, and also some of the people you've interviewed as well. I see you've interviewed a guy called Corey Ratliff.
Yeah.
Interviewed Casey and Joe Byrne, who I'm also friendly with. He's a great guy.
Yeah, it was a good one.
I have a. It was also really fun because he's a big fan of comic books, as am I, and he's like. And he was like, dude, no one, like, not a lot of booktubers talk about, like, comics, so I gotta talk to you. And I'm like, bro, yes. And so,
Yeah, right.
our interview's coming out this upcoming Monday, and it
Okay.
was great. It's just us geeking out about comics for about 2 hours. It was awesome.
I can't wait to see it, man. That sounds exciting. And before
He
I
also gave me his
forget,
book too, so I'm looking forward to it.
hell
I think I
yeah,
already
man.
showed
That
you
is
it though.
yeah, but I like to see it many times, man. That's incredible. I'm happy that he did that, and that, I get to look forward to you guys talking. What was I gonna? Oh, so I think the very first video I ever saw of yours was with. I cannot remember their name. I've tried to actually get a hold of him, and I was going to ask you how you got a hold of them because I'd love to have them on mine as well. It's a gentleman and his wife, I believe, and they're really into like graphic novels, and I believe he's in the UK.
Yeah, StoryTube. Yeah, Carlos and Yolanda, StoryTube. Yeah, yeah,
Dude, impressive people, man. They're very smart. I love their
yeah.
little.
That was great. I love that. I love that conversation a lot. That
It was good.
I tend to try and keep my like favorite conversations, but that's definitely one of them. I really enjoyed that one. And
StoryTube, right?
also, yeah, and Tube is TOOB. So
Okay.
I found them on Discord. So they have a thing called the an unexpected party. You could probably find them on there, or
Oh, that's theirs. I have them on mine. I did not know.
you probably find them on there. I was their
Cool.
first member, and that was kind of awkward because like after that podcast, I asked Carlos, I'm like, hey, I heard you have you were telling me you have a new Discord. I have the link, and he's like, yeah, sure. So he shot it to me, and I joined, and they're like, oh, hey, you're the first guy. I'm like, oh.
All right. Perfect timing to ask for it, dude.
It was yeah, no, it's yeah,
Was
no,
it
they're
just me,
great.
or did it take? Was it just me, or does it take everybody a good 3 or 4 months to understand what the hell Discord is?
Oh god. I've used Discord on and off for 3 years or a couple years, and I still don't fully understand how to use it.
It's so dynamic. There's so many different things you can do, but you have to know how to do it. It's like I kind of compare it to my wife tells me about how she did HTML, like page design back when she was in high school, and from what I understand about that, it's very similar, with Discord because you can do polls and stuff, but you have to enter it a certain way. And yeah, I'm learning.
Hmm. Yeah, no, I mean it's admittedly I'm not a graphic design major, so I mean you said your wife did your thumbnails and stuff, right?
Yeah, so she did my first thumbnails, and she still does most of my like touch-up work, but I did my last thumbnail for the interview tonight. It's my favorite by far that I did by
Oh,
myself. But yes, that's what she does. That's her day job. She daylights by graphic designing. Yeah, she does shirts and makes sublimation designs, DTF designs, PNG files. She's super talented. She's been doing it for a very long time. She understands it. She gets it.
I also see you interviewed David T. List, who's one of the
Yeah,
authors you
dude.
recommended to me.
He he's an incredible dude.
I think I've heard of Corey Ratliff. I've heard him mentioned. If you watch
Yeah,
Story
so
Talks, I think she mentioned him a few times. 'Cause
okay, yeah.
she's a very big indie fantasy cover or reviewer.
Uh
That's a better.
you
Why did I
said
say cover?
Tori?
Tori. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I know who you're. Is she from the UK? UK?
No.
Okay, maybe
she's
I'm. There's two girls I like to watch, and one has really long black hair. Is Malazan? That's her favorite of all time.
hmm
Um, I can't remember her name though, but she does really, really good book reviews. Yeah. So Corey is he's got a few books out, and he does epic fantasy, and yeah. So I would absolutely say people check him out. He's a newer author. He works in construction 9 to 5, but when he takes a break at his job, he writes. The
Oh
guy's very
yeah, that's right.
dedicated.
Oh yeah, that's right. I saw him on your indie spotlight the other day.
Mm,
He's
yeah,
like,
and so actually, who you're thinking of is who I'm interviewing tonight. That's Brian Wilson. Um, he he does new homes, and then I wish I would have had him on my indie. I sent out a lot of different invites to that indie spotlight, and I published who got back with me. But
It's cool you
yeah, a
got all
lot of
those
these guys,
people. I mean, I'm still nervous.
I was
I'm
happy.
still nervous asking authors, even though I've talked to a few of them. Um,
I always tell anybody that is nervous, because obviously me too. It's like, man, I don't like being rejected either. Like that sucks. But you can't. I like this saying: you can't bitch about not getting what you miss the opportunity to take. Like if I'm sad that I don't have a bunch of authors on my side or whatever, or following me or subscribe to YouTube, I can't be upset if I haven't reached out to them. And we're all going to get rejections. Just got to take that step and expect or prepare for the worst, but expect the best kind of thing. And honestly, I haven't really been let down by. They're all very nice and very willing to help, not only support a channel, but support them.
yeah, I remember another one of the people I had on my podcast. His name's Daniel. He mentioned to me, not Daniel Green, by the way, but it's above my pay grade. But
Oh God.
but he mentioned like the thing he mentioned to me is like the worst you'll get is either rejection or a waste of 5 minutes of your time.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
it's fair. Okay.
It's like when you think about it, man, it's like it's worth the shot. And the worst thing, like you just said, is they could deny you whatever. Okay. They've missed an opportunity for, even if just one more person buys your book, they've missed that opportunity.
Yeah, no, but again, it's just sort of, it's been kind of tough because I don't know where to really. I mean, you gave me a couple recommendations. I mean, I have Joe's book back there. I haven't read it yet, but definitely plan on it.
Twitter.
Twitter?
That's
Oh
if
yeah,
somebody
oh
said
yeah.
if
I think
somebody
I
said,
mentioned
"Hey,
to
how
you
do I?"
before we stopped talking last time. I'm like, yeah, I followed Mike Molman. I know he's been getting some traction, and he followed me on
Hmm.
Twitter. He followed me back.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, dude, Mike Mullen's a great guy. I've got him coming on my channel, I believe, the 17th of September. Yeah, the 17th. Yeah, he's an amazing human. He does stuff for the USO. Um,
Mm.
he's really into the tabletop games, and he goes to lots of conventions.
Mm.
Uh, he's representing his books, and I'm not really big into D&D, but it's got like the packs. Like um,
It is a
I
lot of
have.
fun. I will mention it as someone who does play it. It is fun.
I think I'm gonna get into it because I'm reading Jeffrey Spate's book, Paladin Unbound.
Mm.
Uh, very D&D esque. Um, from his words, that's his words. I'm very unfamiliar with D&D, but if it's like his book, dude, what a hell of an adventure I'm having with the book. Jeffrey Spate.
I was about to say. I
Um,
mean, if you like quest adventures or like groups of people teaming up, you'll like D&D. It's basically what it
yeah,
is.
that's basically what it's like. Half orcs, and they're on this adventure, and it's really fun so far. And it's Paladin Unbound by Jeffrey Spate. It's Speight.
Oh no, it was Laura from Fantasy Awash who said she was getting through Best Served Cold when I was talking to her. That's right. I just remembered
It just came
that.
back.
That just came back. Um, oh Lord, are there other genres you enjoy reading? Because like, I
Yeah.
try to cover a lot of genres on my channel. Because if I just did one, and don't get me wrong, I love fantasy and I've covered fantasy on my channel, and I still will do so. But
Mhm.
like, if I just did the one, I would probably get bored after a while.
Yeah, so I love Stephen King.
Oh yeah, I do enjoy him
Got
as
a,
well.
got a lot of James Rollins. He's adventure.
Yeah, I saw you
Sus-
mention him on your channel. I haven't, or is it
Yeah, he's
James
great.
Clemens? Let me look.
This is my favorite trilogy. This is actually by him and Rebecca Contrell, and this is the Order of the Sanguine series by James Rollins and Rebecca Contrell. So it's a dark Catholic Church, an Order of the Catholic Church. these vampires kind of like it's like a horror suspense thriller. It's
Mm.
really good. Um, but then he's got his Sigma Force novels, which he's most popular for. Uh, this is one of them. There's 17 now. Tides of Fire just came out
Oh
with
my
this.
gosh.
Yeah,
17?
yeah, they're all standalone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right. That's ballsy, right? But hey, they're all standalone. They're all great. So
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm a fan of the noir genre, and there's a bunch of series that are like, God, it'll go into the 20s or even 40s if at times. I don't know, but
who's
I don't
your
know how they do that, but it's it's
yeah
something.
balls? Because you've got to have a fan that's on book number one that's willing to go to book or if you're releasing a book this year and it's book number 17, how many people honestly have read the last 16 books?
Yeah, no, I try not. I don't usually read a lot of longer series. I mean, I know Malazan seems more up my alley because I like darker stuff, but like stuff like Wheel of Time or like just long series like that, I'm kind of hesitant to get into because
Not many people can pull it off.
now
Who would you
I will read the occasional longer series though, like Harry Potter or um, Game of Thrones, even though it's becoming increasingly unlikely by the day that George will ever finish it. But
yeah, I think I was talking to Emma yesterday.
fingers crossed.
Yeah, right. Emma L. Adams said that she finished what's been published from A Song of Ice and Fire, and when she finishes, she said, "Oh, it'll be out in a couple years." And there's so many fans because I'm still on book number one, like I'm halfway through it right now, and
It's good, very
it
good.
sucks like knowing that there's it's just going to end and it's not going to be an actual ending. You know what I mean? Hopefully he finishes it, but from what I understand, just from comments I've got from people who do read his stuff, it's probably not going to happen. Who would you suggest I start with a noir? I've never read one.
Noir. Oh God. Probably say my favorite modern noir author is Dennis Lehane or Lehane. Carlos from StoryTube, who is Irish, said it's pronounced Lehane, but
Spell it. L.A.
Lehane. Um,
Okay.
I actually just read his Mystic River earlier this year. Excellent book. I would start with. I mean, you could probably start anywhere with his work. I mean, you know, it's not. It's not like. Oh, geez. It's not something where you have to kind of build up to certain books. You can kind of just start anywhere.
Cool. Yeah, they're all standalones. That's good.
Though I mean, if you want to like get your feet wet and like you know, I'd probably just say a drink before the war. It's a good place to start
I'll write that down.
because yeah, it's you know, it's a good story. It's good mystery. You know, I mean, it didn't. I mean, I'd certainly say he's written better books than that one, but it's a good place to start. I think.
Cool. Yeah, I think I'll do that because I've had a couple authors get a hold of me and they're like, "Yeah, I also write noir," and I'm like, "That sounds really fascinating, but I have no idea what that means."
Crime fiction, pretty much. Like you know, you've seen stuff like Seven
Yeah,
or Chinatown. That's noir, pretty much. It's you know very kind of dark.
early like 1900s, kind of like in New York kind of deal. That's what I
Yeah,
picture.
yeah.
Guy
It doesn't
smoking a
have to be that,
cigar.
but it doesn't have to be that. But yes, yes. Or oh god. I read Walter Mosley last year, though I'm a bit on and off with him, but Devil in a Blue Dress I thought was pretty good.
Okay.
Let's see. I'd say Joe Abercrombie has a sort of, you know, I actually would love to see him do a noir novel at some point, just like a straight one, because I think he would do that genre very well.
His humor is so great. His humor is,
Yeah,
dude, I've
yeah,
never
no, it's
laughed out so hard in my life, just in the middle of nowhere. Just
man. Another. Well, if you like comics, Ed Brubaker's good place to go to. Especially when he's teamed with Sean Phillips, they work together like
Now,
melted
what's the
butter.
movie? What's the movie I'm thinking of? It's Bruce Willis. Oh my gosh.
Well, what's Bruce Willis doing? It's.
It was a comic book, and he plays a character in this comic
Oh
book
yeah,
that was
yeah.
made,
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
or it was a graphic novel.
Unbreakable. I think is what you're talking about. Yeah, that's.
So that's a good one, but I'm not thinking about that. It's got I just can't remember the name. I just can't. It was first a graphic novel by
Oh,
Frank
Sin
Miller.
City. Sin
Sin
City.
City.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's also the qual. I will say though, the quality in it is very up and down. In my opinion, anyway. You might enjoy it, but it's definitely like very pulpy.
Yes, that's exactly what I would have said. Yes.
Movie's
So,
good.
but I
Movie
enjoyed it.
good. Though it is pretty much a straight adaptation. Like if you read, like if you've seen the movie, like the comics aren't too dissimilar. So,
Cool.
but yeah, no, it's a the arcs I'd recommend is the Hard Goodbye, which is the first one, and the Yellow Bastard, and the rest of them you could take or leave. You know, this
Okay.
because Frank Miller loves to go to extremes.
I hear that.
He does. He does. That beautiful man.
Yellow bastard.
Yeah, the Yellow Bastard. That's really dark, but it's good. It's good. Or I
Ooh.
enjoyed it anyway. It's not. I know there's probably some people who might think it's goofy, but that's kind of yeah. What's another one? I mean, if you like Batman, there's some good like noir-inspired tales with Batman, but I guess that's not really. Let me look on my Goodreads actually.
Oh, that's what I'll do.
Because I have a binding here. It's taking a minute to load, but
Story of my life.
what's another crime novel that I enjoyed a lot? Well, I did just finish Gun with Occasional Music, but that's more like science fiction noir blender. But you know,
Okay. My wife's reading Lonesome Dove right now. She's absolutely loving it.
I do want to read that. I do. I have a soft spot for Western stuff, but
I think if everybody gave it a chance, that everybody would have that soft spot because it's really just it's America
yeah,
at
just
at its
is.
early days. It's early what people did, like it or not like it. Most of it's based on very real things.
Let's see. It's another. Oh yeah, I actually just covered this on my channel recently. Some Die Nameless. That was pretty good. But that's more of a thriller. I guess you could call it noir, but yeah, it's more like a crime thriller, the conspiracy stuff.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah, S.A. Cosby stuff like Blacktop Wasteland is really good. I enjoyed that one a lot. I also just had a bunch of stuff that appealed to me. Like I like muscle cars from the 70s. There's a lot of
Oh
those.
hell yeah,
And there's a lot of those in that book, so I'm like, oh yeah.
dude! If I could, I'd have a Chevelle. That'd be
um,
mine.
but yeah, aside from that, like maybe look on Goodreads. That'd be a good. Yeah, you do that.
Yeah, I think I will.
It's diff.
That's one thing that I haven't really explored much of anybody's Goodread profile, and I need to utilize that tool better.
But yeah, no, I mean it's. I speaking of StoryTube, they got a lot of great. They cover noir on their channel as well, so that's probably a good place to look.
Okay, cool. Yeah, well,
They
I
did
can't
like
wait
a
to check them back out.
comprehensive video saying like here's all the different sub stuff or whatever. You know, I can't describe it at the moment, but it's
Well, no, I get what you're saying, but I can't wait to check those guys. I hope I get a hold of them. I'd really to talk to them. They're really smart people.
Yeah, no, they're cool. I'm like we should do this again at some point.
Yeah.
Because I think I also said this to you when we were talking last. Yeah, I'm definitely not against doing re-guests, having guests on again. Because
Yeah, I
I
think
mean,
that this is obviously a lot easier to talk this time without the kids screaming and stuff. But yeah, dude, like, uh, you're good at what you do, and it's easy to just kind of just keep talking. I probably could do it for 10 hours straight. So yeah, I would absolutely. If you ever want me back on again, man, I would love to.
yeah, I mean it's oh man, but yeah, no, but yeah, from Noir, like best, like the one I often harass people to go read, like on a frequent basis, is probably Dennis Lehane because he's so good, and
Cool.
people should go. It's one of those I'm like, everyone should go read this. It's so
Yeah,
fun.
yeah, no, I know those type of books. It's like, guy, you're kind of being pushy. It's like, I just really love it though. Like, you're gonna love it.
Yeah, no, but yeah, no, yeah, oh man, he's so good. I've heard Don Winslow is very good. I haven't read his books though. Again, Yolanda from StoryTube kind of turned me on, so I got his Power of the Dog here.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm definitely planning on checking him out. I know of him, but I just haven't read any of his stuff. But yeah, no, that's I mean, with noir, it's such a there's a lot of great stories in that genre. I think, and not a lot of people cover it on YouTube. That surprises me because it's like
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, guys, like you got a ripe genre here for it's a very popular genre, so I don't know why not, but
I think it's a little bit niche, and I think that's probably why. Not that niche stuff isn't covered, especially on YouTube, but it's just one of those things I think people don't necessarily take serious at first. At least that's how I originally thought of it. And now that I get more of a comprehensive picture of what it is, I'm very interested. And I think it's that ignorance in a good way, not a bad way. That's not a bad word. It's just if you're ignorant to it, you don't know what to expect.
yeah, it's definitely but yeah, no, I mean it's a genre I enjoy a lot. But going back to West, so your wife's reading Lonesome Dove. I've heard a lot of people enjoy that. I find it interesting how, because like I've noticed on BookTube, there's like these trends, and
That's
like
definitely one.
yeah, no, like they like one of them's like, yo, Lonesome Dove, man. Like I saw Matt cover it on his channel, and I was like, wow.
Well, I think this was the start of it for me. I'm very obsessed with Joe Abercrombie and his work, and he's actually really interesting too, as far as just listening to him talk. And he does a little bit of a tour of his bookshelf on YouTube. He's got a video out of just him going through and walking through his bookshelves, and he speaks about Lonesome Dove and how it's probably his favorite book of all time, and that's how I learned of it. And then naturally, I think that that probably sparked people's curiosity, considered he's highly watched on YouTube and paid attention to. And I've seen another booktuber and this booktuber and that booktuber cover Lonesome Dove, and I finally said, I want to get that because from what I understand, because I haven't read it yet, my wife, like I said, she's reading it, she loves it. It's like even if you're not into westerns, like you have to still read it.
Yeah, no, I mean it's a thick boy, That's kind of
It's
my
like a
only
thousand
real.
pages.
I mean, that's kind of my only, thing is like, oh, it's a thick boy. Like and
She's
it's
been
funny.
reading it.
I was talking with my mom the other day, or this was like a few months ago, and she was like, "Oh yeah, how's that book you're reading right now?" And it was like maybe 300 something pages, maybe. No, that's that's fine. I can do that. And she's like, "Well,
Hmm.
what's long to you?" And I'm like, 600, or well, hold on, like maybe 700, 800, 900 onward. That's long to me. And she's like,
Yeah, so I think
wow.
there's like a cap, like as far I guess if you didn't want to have a cap and you could publish your own book like with your own printer, but as far as Amazon goes, I'm pretty sure you can't go 1,000 and
Oh my
some
god.
odd numbers because Ryan Cahill exceeded it, and like of War and Ruin was too long, and Amazon wouldn't print it because so he had to take some pages off, obviously, but it's still like 1,000 pages.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no. When I was writing my first fantasy novel, um, I'm like, I'm not making it a chunker. I'm gonna make it a nice like 300 page. Well, I didn't know how many pages it was gonna be, but I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna keep it concise for the most part because I want people to.
Right. Well, hey, I hate to end a good conversation, but the wife's kind of waiting on me for to end and stuff. So
Oh
the
no, yeah, I
baby,
get that. This has been fun, man.
I really
I'll have to,
appreciate it, and
I'll have to,
and
I'll
the
have
fact
to
that
edit this together later. So, but
please, yes, please do that,
oh my
and
god,
and I did want to make sure you know that your patience with me has been much appreciated.
no, you're good, man. I enjoy. I'm like, I'm enjoying. I'm enjoying this conversation. We gotta do this. So yeah,
Thank
I
you
also
very
I
much.
get it. Life gets in the way. I'm like
Yeah.
I can put
Yeah.
up with some bullshit
All right.
if I feel good enough to talk with you. And we should do
Yes,
this again.
absolutely. I really hope we do, and so like moving forward, basically the best times I think, but we're in different time zones, so it's a little bit difficult. Like my interviews was like 9 p.m.
Mm. Mm.
Eastern time, and that's because the kids are asleep. Like there's absolutely nobody going to be talking behind us. But during the day, like the kinds of ways we've been doing it, that's why. So next time we'll do
Oh
it
well,
maybe a
you
little
could have
later.
just said it in the evening. I would have done that, but it's okay. It's all
Uh,
it's all done now.
it is done now, yes, sir. But next time, that's what I'm saying. This time has been different, but next time when we plan, it will be at evening.
All right. Well, like I like to mention this before we leave. What are like your social media and all that? If you got that, feel free to share.
Yeah, yeah. So,
And
Beard
also
of
stuff you're
Darkness.
doing next.
Oh, thank you for allowing that. So on YouTube, it's Beard of Darkness book reviews. Simple. I was actually surprised that that wasn't taken. Clean, cut and clean. Beard of Darkness book reviews, and then uh, Beard of Darkness on Twitter. Beard of Darkness book reviews on Instagram. It's really easy to find me. So yeah, those are the big three.
Fair enough.
I think.
All right.
Yep.
Well, I mean, you can find me on Twitter and Letterboxd and Goodreads, Discord, and that's about it.
Oh yeah, I do have a Discord. I do have a Discord that I would really love for people to start. Maybe more people joining and interacting and stuff because I think that would be so fun. But
Yeah, no.
yeah, I think you're a part of it, right?
Yeah, I
The
am. I
Discord.
mean, I am in your group.
Cool. So yeah, we'll try to get that bigger and have some more discussion.
All right. Well, this has been fun. Again, we should do this again at some point.
Sounds great, man.
I'm gonna have to edit it together. It's gonna be fun.
Yes,
But
sir.
all right. Well, take care, everyone, and have a good rest of your day, Matthew. I
Hey,
appreciate you taking the time.
yeah, and I appreciate you. You have a great day, man.
All right. You too.